Plaintiff Patricia Boulware says the defendant is her son, and she claims he's been a troubled child since second grade. Patricia claims after the defendant was arrested in 2017, she co-signed on a bail bond for him. But he was arrested again, and she was then billed for the bond, so she's suing. Defendant Samir Derry admits he was in and out of trouble with the law as a child, but he ended up getting a scholarship to an Ivy League school. However, before he could attend, Samir got shot 5 times, and his entire life was turned upside down.
Start with you.
Judge Mathis, I love my son Samir Derry. He's been a troubled child ever since he was in second grade.
How so? Like what?
Getting in trouble, having problems in school.
What type?
Oh, he was cursing at the teacher, pulling the things down off the wall.
Second grade, he was cursing the teachers and pulling things off the wall.
Yes. They said that he might have attention deficit.
Okay, what'd you do about it?
I had got him on the medicine.
Okay, good.
But then as he got older, then he stopped taking the medicine.
Okay, well then that's the problem then. Okay. And why did he say he stopped taking it?
He didn't like the way it made him feel. He said that he might have attention deficit.
Okay, what'd you do about it?
I had got him on the medicine.
Okay, good.
But then as he got older, then he stopped taking the medicine.
Okay, well then that's the problem then. Okay.
Plaintiff Patricia Boulware is suing her son, who claims he had a college scholarship to an Ivy League school, but he was unable to attend because he was shot 5 times.
I guess your doctor did not tell you that he should keep trying different combinations.
No,
He said he didn't feel good because that is the case with many when they first begin with their therapy. So they have to calibrate it. You have to keep trying different combinations until one works. You wouldn't have known that. I just kind of learned that in the last few years with my studies on mental health as a result of family members, and I think something might need to be fixed with me. So I read up, but yeah, that's the state of mental illness. So how did that go after the end of the treatment that made him feel bad?
Well, he didn't have a father figure. His father was in and
None of that involved. This is mental illness, ma'am.
Okay.
That ain't no father figure, none of that. My daughter has a father figure. I think I've been a pretty strong father figure. But her illness, as is the case with many that I know, and perhaps myself, is a result of a chemical imbalance. All the fathers in the world, he would have suffered the same way because it's not based on socialization. It's based on chemical interaction. And so I want to hear more about that. He stopped taking his meds. When did you find out? And, probably was an adult. How old was he?
Yeah, he was an adult.
All right, not much you can do other than advise him and ask him questions. And if he got irritated, you had to back away from that, right?
Right.
As an adult.
Yes.
I understand. So I am so glad that you took him for treatment, however that works out. That's the number one thing a parent should do. That's you fulfilled your responsibility.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm proud of that. Most parents that come to me do not. And I promise you, most parents would prefer to drive around the corner to that school and then to the counselor up the street from there, other than take a whole day off and go 300 miles to visit him in prison. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
All right. Does that ever happen?
Yes.
More than once?
Yes.
How many? I'll let him tell me, sir.
Well, Judge, she right. I've been a problem since I could remember. I'm not about to sit here and justify that. I think part of it was, with my father, because my father was notorious in my city, and I was, chasing, trying to be like him. And, with whatever chemical imbalance I was dealing with, it didn't make it any better. It just, rules and me just didn't mix. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and
So I got you. Most folks, whatever social environment you come from, you mimic that. And that's essentially what you're saying. You came from that. and that is the street life with his father. If his father was a baller, they were looking out for the police all the time because ballers are on the police radar. You're looking out for the enemies because enemies are mad at you. Then you're looking out at folks who want to rob you because they kicking in doors, robbing dope dealers and killing them on sight. All those folks that got weight and they think that they safe because they doing 100 kilos a month and I ain't on the street with nobody. That's when they come in, take your package, shoot you in the head and say, thank you, you shouldn't have been doing this. Am I right or wrong? I got the game right?
100% right.
100%. Why you like to question my game?
I'm learning. I never questioned your game. No, you question my game. I don't have one.
So tell me your interactions with the law. What is some of the things that happened?
It started early. I got arrested with a gun at 13. I was in and out of juvenile placements and stuff. But I was always a bright kid, you know. Yana, I scored a 1360 on my SATs. I had scholarships to Ivy League schools.
What
and,
school?
you know, Pennsylvania University.
Penn?
Yep. Penn, I had a scholarship there.
Ivy League.
And so, you know, my mom would tell you all this. I played sports all my life and stuff like that, but I got shot. Right before I graduated high school, I got shot 5 times. And so, you know, that just really changed the trajectory.
You were still
of
in the
everything.
street? You were trying to balance the street life with the square life? Or
Well, I only got the opportunity to do the school stuff while I was in a juvenile placement. They had some
Got it. And
college prep,
demonstrate,
SAT prep stuff, and like I said, I just was naturally bright, and so I scored high.
Plaintiff Patricia Boulware is suing her son, who claims he had a college scholarship to an Ivy League school, but he was unable to attend because he was shot 5 times.
I've admitted to a self-diagnosis of attention deficit based on my record as a kid and doing the things that he did. I got kicked out of 1st grade, putting tacks in the teacher's chair, and when she turned her back, I threw spitballs at her. I was the only fool in there doing that, cussed the teacher out, went off, all of that, did a lot of that stuff, and hyperactive, couldn't stay still. Mind wouldn't stay still, so I could manage 3 things in my mind at a time, right or wrong.
That's when I'm at my best.
So that's what you said.
I don't believe the stuff I be having. I gotta bring y'all eyewitnesses to prove that. I gotta bring y'all eyewitness receipts.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and arrested for a gun
Yeah.
at 17, 9 months in the county. Tried as an adult. Same thing, but considered smart. Took my GED studies in the county. Came out, college. After my first year, went back to the projects to sing the praises of college, and I can help y'all get in. Jumped on me, robbed me, and pistol whipped me, and left this permanent mark on my head. About right?
Yeah.
And that's how I go in the hood.
That's how I go. They don't want to see you make it out.
Huh?
They don't want to see you make it out.
Yeah, you go back there talking about you can help me. If you want, you gonna help me get another package? You can do that. You gonna help me with this armed robbery? You can be the lookout man. Oh, this going to college. You about to get pistol whooped. And that's exactly what happened. I ain't ashamed to say it. So the bail bond, tell me about that. You're suing over that.
Yeah, in 2017, Samir had got arrested again. Him and his girlfriend called me, and I told him I was not getting involved. They begged me, pleaded, gave me verbal agreements that they would pay this bail bondsman if, but they only needed a second signature. And I told him, I said, you sign that, then that means I'm going to be responsible. But Samir promised me that he was not going to get in trouble and get arrested again. And then he gets out, I goes and sign it. She comes and pick me up, I goes and sign it with her. And then she pays some of it and didn't pay all of it. Then Samir gets locked up. And so now they're sending me things, telling me they're going to freeze my account, sending me letters, and he's saying, don't pay it no mind. They just bail bondsmen. They can't do nothing. I said, sir, I'm taking care of 4 of my grandkids.
No mind, and you
He talking
ruining
about
your
don't
credit.
pay it no mind. I just got my credit back together. My credit
He ain't
is
used to
A1.
credit. He used to
No.
cash. He don't know
Yeah.
about no
All
credit.
I use is my
He
credit.
don't know
And my
about
credit
that,
is
man.
A1 now, and I can't let him mess up my credit. And I lost my job.
He don't know whether 200 is great or 800 is great. He has no clue. I promise you, man.
Yes, and I
He
didn't.
been in the street most of his adult life. That ain't what you do.
Right.
That ain't how that go. All right, ma'am. And your credit has been jeopardized?
Yes, my
or
credit-
hurt or jeopardized?
It's been jeopardized. And
All
they're
right, so when you
threatening-
leave here, if you get your money, you're going to pay them, so it's
Yeah,
not
exactly,
lifted?
yes,
Because
yes,
that's what
I
we
am.
don't want to
Yes,
happen.
yes,
That's the
I
whole
will
deal.
definitely pay. I
It's
do
hurting
not
your
want-
credit.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
not want my credit messed up.
Yep, and folks, please don't mess folks' credit up, particularly the parents. Please don't do that. It takes years typically to repair, particularly if you had to go into bankruptcy. It's very hard to repair your credit.
Right.
All right, what do you say about this?
Okay, so when I did get arrested, we had the money, and they needed another signature for like a security purpose. So I asked her to do it, and I did tell her that I wasn't going to get arrested, and I told her I was going to pay the money. But I just came home from prison last year myself, and I'm working. I just started a community organization. I'm trying to give back to.
What'd you get arrested for then?
Another gun. And I went upstate. I did the time. That was when she had bailed
Tell me
me out.
about the organization you were working to start.
So I have an organization. It's called Black Cash, Black Convicted and Still Here, and it's an organization that's for convicted felons that have mental health diagnosis. Because those are, I feel like, at risk, committing the crimes and stuff out there. And I work with some organizations in my city to try to give back. And we got an event coming up. We're revitalizing a park around my neighborhood that's been abandoned by the city. It's called Marshall Estates.
You are
Morris
right on to
Estates.
something. That's why I always say privileged kids go to counseling, our kids go to prison. And folks, part of that is because y'all don't want to take them to counseling because of a stigma or because you claim not to have time. Well, you better make time. You're going to make time when you go to that prison, so you better make time for that counseling. And so that's my message to folks who rather have their kids go to prison than to do their best, as you did.
Plaintiff Patricia Boulware is suing her son, who claims he had a college scholarship to an Ivy League school, but he was unable to attend because he was shot 5 times.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm working. I got a good job. I got my own place and
Not
stuff.
jeopardizing yourself?
No, not at all.
That's the
but
biggest risk with us. I got attention deficit.
Right.
I'm sure about that.
Right.
I don't know about that other stuff I read or read about myself or read and trying to see if that's me. I don't know.
If you grew up in the hood, you got PTSD.
There you go.
For sure.
Post-traumatic stress. Oh, when I grew up,
Everybody
like you
in the
said, it's
hood
like
got
the
that.
war. It's like the war in the inner cities where the guns have been dumped to desperate people who have no means, and some preying on others with guns, then those who don't want to be preyed on have guns. All right, so you're admitting to the bail. I like to hear that. And you're doing better with your attention deficit, and you can manage so much in your mind if once you get it under control. Isn't that about right?
Yep.
See, the frustration of attention deficit is that your mind is not allowing you to focus on one thing. So when you're a child, you can't focus on what that teacher is saying. You're getting up, walking around. In the class, you're doing something else. You can't focus on one thing.
Right.
And so as you grow and you learn to manage that mind,
Right.
then you can do it. So parents, you got gifted children. If you'll teach them and help them manage their deficits. All right, that's enough, but I ain't got no other reason to be on TV than to help people now at this point.
Right.
Thank you for helping.
Linda got enough money. All right, done. She got it. $3,000 is your judgment. Hang in there. Thank God we were able to share some stuff that's gonna help some people.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you,
Take
Judge
care.
Mathis. Thank you.
Mom, I love you. I'm sorry for anything I ever did that hurt you.
I love you, Samir, and I'm sorry I had to bring you here, but I just wanted you to stand up and show that you have to be responsible for when you supposed to do things, okay?
I know.
I love you.
Love you too.